What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Batman Detective Comics issue number 1047. The main storyline is written by Mariko Tamaki, with the backup storyline being written by Matthew Rosenberg. So this is the start of the weekly Shadows of the Bat series. There's going to be 12 straight weeks of Detective Comics. So brace yourself for a big, epic, long weekly storyline, which is kind of crazy. It makes me think back to the days of the movie serials, but we're getting a new issue every single week, which I still can't fathom that they're doing this. Like certain books, it's like you get lucky if you get one a month, but Detective Comics, it's like, no, we're going to do 12 issues weekly. I'm not sure why DC is doing this, but I guess I'm surprised they don't just do it every other week. But whatever, let's go ahead and talk about this weekly series. So, like I said, the main storyline was written by Mariko Tamaki, and the backup storyline was written by Matthew Rosenberg. So basically, this is dealing with Arkham Tower. Now, why Arkham Tower? If you're anybody, why would you want this building in the middle of Gotham City? It really doesn't make any sense to me, because at least with Arkham Asylum, it was a bit isolated, kind of out on the outskirts of the city. But now in this case, when things go wrong, and they always do go wrong when you have Arkham Asylum, the name Arkham involved, shit hits the fan, and all those criminals will be right there, smack dab in the middle of the city, ready to wreak havoc. So this thing opens up. We see it starts out at day 7, where the new doctor, Dr. Weir, is there. He's talking about how, oh, I got all these medical cures for all these different people, yada, yada, yada. Now, this was also set up in the previous issue. We even have Chase Meridian making an appearance. The guy who attacked Nakano a few issues ago is here, and the doctor's like, look, I cured him. Haha, this is great. Dr. Chase Meridian is there. She's talking about the whole situation. We also have Deb Donovan talking to Kate Kane, saying she doesn't believe this nonsense. How can there just be miracle cures? Like I said, this is kind of setting the stage for a bit of a mystery as to how this Dr. Weir was able to kind of cure somebody. But then, as we immediately see, this thing cuts to day 24. So barely 3 weeks in, Arkham Tower is pretty much destroyed, or like in pure chaos, like it's the movie Die Hard, and shit's just hit the fan at this point, which is to be expected. I mean, heck, even with the original Arkham Asylum, I think it at least lasted a little bit longer between chaotic takeovers and all that other stuff. But like, none of this stuff just seems to be working. Yeah, they want to cure all these different people, but yeah. So that Anna character, I think she was in the last issue, comes in, starts killing people, and I guess she's kind of behind it. Batwoman's there, Cassandra Cain is there, I guess Stephanie Brown is around somewhere, Oracle's involved. Nightwing is kind of the man on the inside, along with Huntress, who seemingly is hurt here. I guess that's supposed to be her hiding out in the elevator after dealing with some sort of chaotic mess. It's kind of a bit of a mystery. So, like I said, the story starts out at one point, like day 7. It's a bit of a press conference, like, hey, look at all the progress we've made in a week. And then it cuts to later on. So we know inevitably the two timelines are going to kind of converge together, and we're going to see the whole chaos all ensue and how it came to be. So I thought this storyline overall was a pretty decent start, kind of setting the stage for the events of things. I can't expect too much. Well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, we're dealing with Arkham again. I feel like we just kind of dealt with this stuff in A-Day, so I'm not sure what the goal of the storyline is, but I think it'll be interesting to kind of read a bit of a weekly storyline with DC Comics. I think that just feels kind of a little bit new, a little bit fresh for me in particular. Yes, I still read new comics every week, but not the same continuous series for 12 straight weeks. I don't know if they've ever done something like that, so we'll just have to wait and see. But the backup storyline is written by Matthew Rosenberg, and this one leaves me kind of scratching my head a little bit why this would happen. But anyway, so a family's there, their son's playing with their dinosaurs. The Joker comes in, the father and mother hide the son in some sort of cabinets. The Joker then murders this kid's parents. Batman comes in and breaks some stuff. The kid tries to threaten Batman with his gun, and the kid, because he hadn't really fully seen anything, I guess, believes Batman and the Joker were responsible for his parents' death. Now, this kid has just been through some serious emotional trauma and turmoil, and nobody knows what to do with him, and they think, hey, let's bring him to Arkham, because that's a great idea. What idiots, like what idiot police officers would take a child to Arkham Asylum? Oh yeah, this is a great place to raise a kid. The kid's fucking parents just were killed, and you're going to bring him to Arkham? Is the orphanage not there? Do social services and all that other stuff, are they just not around? Why isn't he going to stay overnight for questioning with the police? Why isn't he put into protective custody? The Joker just murdered this child's parents. I don't understand why this isn't the case. So yeah, that one, like, it has me intrigued by the mystery of it all. Also, wasn't the kid just kind of looking through the peepholes here? I guess he thinks Batman did it, even though he was just kind of looking, or maybe he looked away a bit. I don't know. Batman clearly wasn't there, and he broke through the window afterwards. So, but then again, he's a kid. He's been through a serious traumatic events. So yeah, there's some questionable things in this particular issue. Mainly, why would anybody want to put Arkham Tower and like even call it Arkham in smack dab in the middle of the city? It's just going to go wrong. We've seen this before, at least with Arkham Asylum. It was out of the way. Yes, I get you want to help people, like, but you know what? We're 1,000 something issues into Detective Comics at this point, and we've had however many things with all these different villains and criminals. It's never going to work. They're never going to be able to reform these people unless you do something kind of an Elseworlds League, like in what was it, Justice League, where they visited the Justice Lords, and they had some crazy like thing where the Justice League kind of took over, and not quite injustice, not, but like kind of in the way where they would just kind of lobotomize the various criminals that just wouldn't, get in line, I guess. So unless you see something like that, I doubt we'll ever see any of these criminals cured, because these storylines are destined to go on forever. But the more interesting thing about this particular issue is, at least with the main storyline, Batman is not going to be present in this thing, and I'm totally 100% okay with that. It'll be nice to see other members of the Batfamily working this out and trying to solve this case. Although, I will say this, though. The way some of the characters are written here, like, your Cassandra Cain's and that, they're not written to be as childish as they are in the Batgirls book, so there's a bit of kind of inconsistency between the two, because whenever you have, like, Tamaki's writing involved, every character swears, and like, to be fair, I swear quite a bit, so I can totally relate to it. But like, it's so noticeably different than what I was reading in the main Batgirls book. So that's something that just kind of like it doesn't feel like those two titles really fit aligned with each other. So like, one's kind of more upbeat and a little bit kind of childish in a way, but like that's supposed to take place in the same thing. A little bit of inconsistency in terms of the characterization there. But that's okay. We'll kind of just roll with it. Whatever works for the story they're trying to tell. So yeah, overall consensus, I thought this was a decent start to this whole Shadows of the Bat thing. We'll see how it turns out. I don't know what the goal of it ultimately was, and I don't know why anyone would think it's a great idea to put Arkham Tower in the middle of Gotham City. But then again, I realized this town is insane. Like, it just is totally batshit insane. After all the stuff they went through, they're just like, at this point, it's just the norm. Gotham is just completely insane at this point, so we'll see where it goes from there. But anyways, I think that's going to wrap it up, and that should wrap it up for the videos this week. Sorry, this video is a few days late. It's been kind of a crazy week. I intended to get this thing out, what was it, Wednesday or Thursday? So basically, I think I did the that Arkham City Order of the World storyline, and then I was going to get ready to go ahead and record this thing later on, and, I was at work and all that too, just, working at my desk. Car was completely parked in the middle of the parking lot, and then some idiot, some jackass who was on their phone, drove straight into my car, which then hit another car, which then hit another car, which then hit another car, and it's basically like my car is smashed up and has just basically inconvenienced me for the next couple of weeks. And I'm so ticked off because, like, I parked in the middle of the parking lot, and this idiot just was texting on their phone, I guess, or went to pick it up, and then just drove straight into my car. I saw the footage of it all, and I'm just like, oh my God. I was so angry and furious, but luckily that's why we have insurance. But it's just causing me a headache and all that other stuff, and that's why a lot of videos have been kind of delayed, because I've been just kind of dealing with all this other stuff. So it's just been a very odd, crazy, and frustrating week, because now I'm probably going to end up having to looking for a new car, which I did want to do this year anyways, but just not under these circumstances. So yeah, there's that. So videos, they may come out a little bit slower as I'm kind of working on some other stuff right now, but I'm going to do my best to get things out there. And to everyone else out there who's still watching the video, thank you so much. If you read this issue of Detective Comics. Tell me what you thought of it in the comment section down below. And be sure to come back next time, whenever that may be, as I talk about the whatever comic book comes next. I don't even know what it's going to be at this point, but or it could be another video. So yeah, that's what's up. All right, well, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.